Welcome to the Onemanshowoff podcast where we're hyped for fall and winter. Today we have, quite honestly, an underrated artist. She lives in London to study Shakespeare. This is Stine Schmidt. How have you been?
I've been good, thank you.
Good. She's also known as, I can't pronounce her name on DA. What is it?
Stimusch.
Stimusch, okay. If you're Swedish, right?
No, I'm Danish.
Oh, I'm sorry. That wasn't the first thing on my mind. I'm sorry, but yeah, she's Danish, so that's something. Let's get this started. It's been a quite hectic trying to get this interview together. So
Oh yes,
yeah,
yes. It's at last it's been put together, so that's good.
exactly. First question. What made you want to draw, and how long have you been drawing?
Well, quite honestly, I've been drawing since ever since I can remember, actually. And I think I used to start getting more into drawing and developing my skills when I was around 13 and I had a really tough time in school. So it was a really good way to cope with the reality that was going on around me.
Ah, nice. That's art. Honestly, is good therapy.
It is, definitely.
Ah, next question. Your watercolors are brilliant. What made you want to stick with watercolors, and how long have you been working it? Because I actually remember following you when you used to be Jakaru6666, and you've stuck with digitally. You would sometimes get a traditional picture every now and then, but most of the time it was digital. What made you want to switch back to a traditional, and why watercolors?
Uh yeah, that's a bit difficult because I've been around doing or trying many different kinds of media and trying to see what really fit me. Because there's so many great artists on DeviantArt that I simply adore who make digital art, and I always wanted to do something like that, but it never really got stuck with me, and I was never really that good at it, in my own opinion. So, and I prefer to sit with it in my hands and be able to get paint on my fingers or something like that.
Ah,
I quite like that
that's
feeling.
actually that's understandable, and that's really nice.
Yeah, it's a lovely feeling knowing that you are sitting with something more physically than you do when you're on the computer
Yeah.
and
Plus,
doing
plus
something.
you could sell it for more money.
No, I don't think so, because there's a lot of really good artists that make digital art and sell it for a lot of money.
I mean, like
But
the. I mean, I'm sorry for interrupting. I mean, like the physical. I mean, like apparently physical artworks go off for skyrocket into like 500 to the thousands. I wonder how much watercolor makes.
yeah, I think it's very different. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously, art is not just about making money. It's
Yeah.
about the way that you like to express yourself,
Yeah.
in my opinion. But it's always a good benefit for those artists who can sustain a good living
Exactly.
on their art. So that's good, and props to them.
Yeah, I'm not trying to give a greedy vibe. I'm just saying that making money is good, especially when you're living on your own and you're doing this for a living.
Yes, definitely. And it takes a lot of time. There's so many people that don't um, quite grasp the fact of how long it takes to make a painting, whether it's traditionally or digitally.
Yeah.
But but yeah, I've been around to try many different kind of things, and I think I started out with these watercolor pencils at some point, uh, and I didn't really like that. I didn't really like to work with them, because it gave a look that I wasn't really looking for. And then I went on to doing something with colored pencils, normal colored pencils, and then digitally. And then I met this woman on DeviantArt. Uh, Her screen name is Silja Vic. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but she's from the Faroe Islands, and she makes absolutely amazing art. in watercolors, and I was really inspired by it, and I really love them.
I'll make sure to provide a link for her in the description.
Yes, do that, do
Okay.
that.
All right.
Um, and I just I fell in love with her paintings, and I thought, oh, I wish I could do that. So I wrote to her in a private message and asked her if she could help me out uh, doing a tutorial on how she works with her watercolors. And she actually did. She provided me with a small tutorial, which I followed, and ever since then I just got stuck with it. I like to experiment with it, and at the moment I really like to experiment with doing watercolors in the rain. So when it's raining outside, I like to go out and start painting because I like the lack of control
Oh.
you have when you paint with watercolors.
Wait. So you take you the water you use is rain?
Well, it's both rain and it's I have these what is it like brushes that you can fill up with water, so
Huh.
you can take them with you when you're going somewhere, so
Yeah.
you don't need water, and so it's a mix between that and rain. Um,
I have a pleasant image of my head of you drawing out in this forest and this house in the forest, and it's raining and it's all blue and mellow and it's relaxing, and boy, you're living the life.
oh yes, oh I wish I was in a nature like that, but right now it's just sitting at a cafe in London, and
Huh.
whenever it starts raining, it always rains over here.
Hey, it could be nice
I
in a
just,
cafe though. What?
sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm saying it can be nice in a cafe. And as you mentioned already before, I rudely interrupt you. Raining
Oh
at a
no, no,
cafe.
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Okay, okay.
So yeah, that's just how I got stuck with it. And
Yeah.
then of course there is I think most people know Agnes Cecile on DeviantArt.
I don't know.
Uh okay. Well, she's quite popular and she makes absolutely amazing watercolor paintings and sometimes acrylic paintings as well, I think.
All right, I'll link her art. I'll link her bio in the description too, because I don't really think the people I follow follow her. In fact, they're more into digital art than traditional. But yeah, I'll give as much credit as possible.
Yeah, yeah, sure, do that. I
Yeah,
mean, it's definitely worth a look because it's very inspiring.
yeah. The watercolor to me, honestly, is quite hard because there's just lots of stuff to consider when you got to make it wet, and it's just not simple. It's just painting away.
Yeah, it's the thing I miss about doing digital art is if you make a mistake, you can just delete it right away
Hmm.
and then just change it. The thing about traditional painting in general is that you can't really change it when you want to, especially with watercolors. You can't do anything. If you already had done something, it's there. You can't do anything about it. I
Yeah.
mean, acrylic paintings, oil paintings, you can wait for it to dry and then you can adjust it and paint over it. You can't really do that with watercolors.
To be fair, you can do watercolor on in paint programs.
Yes, I've seen that. It looks good, but I still prefer the traditional method, I suppose.
That's understandable.
But I think I think it's because that I never really practiced so much
Mm.
on the computer, and well, my bunny she ruined my cord for my tablet, so I haven't had a tablet in a very long time.
Wow, this has been dragging off quite a bit, but no, it's good information. I'm glad we're doing this.
Yeah.
Two questions left. Next question. Your style is so you. What inspires it? Like, what is it a combination of? Like with art and aesthetics and such.
Oh, that's really difficult to answer because I get inspired by basically everything.
Oh my gosh, I'm saying oh
Uh,
my gosh because that's my philosophy to live by.
yes, that is, I mean, you can find inspiration everywhere, but one of my main sources, I mean, when I do a bit more cartoony styles, I like to get inspired by Disney because I think they have amazing animators at Disney,
I feel like you
obviously.
would fit right in with Disney.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Um, So, but when I do paintings and such, I get inspired by everything, and most of all, I get inspired by poetry.
Oh, you sound like a. I don't know. This might just be me because I think London and all the Europe place over there is a classy place, but I don't. Or you know what? It's your style. Your style makes me feel like you're into poetry because it's poetic.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I like that you think that, but I really do. I am a big poetry fan,
Yeah.
and I've been reading it for a long time.
Have you
And
made?
obviously, Shakespeare is one of my absolute favorites.
Yeah. Have you made your own poetry?
I have not. I'm
Huh.
not. I'm a dyslexic, so I'm actually not that good at writing.
Oh my gosh. Maybe you can make a poem on. No, I'm not gonna. I really don't want to tread on some hot water by talking about dyslexic poetry. Ugh.
I was, yeah, that was actually really interesting.
Huh?
That was a good idea.
Huh?
A poem on
Being dyslexic?
viewing dyslexia, yeah,
Oh,
and
oh,
being
oh, oh,
dyslexic.
oh, oh, wow. Okay, that's interesting.
Now
This.
we're getting somewhere with this interview. It's getting really inspirational now.
Ah, yes, yes, yes. Next question. You want to do anything else with your skill, or do you wish to do it as just a hobby?
It's always been difficult when people ask me that because I used to say I just wanted to do it as a hobby because I don't want anyone to say that I need to do something specific. Like sometimes when you do commissions, you have to do specific things, and I don't get inspired when I have to do something specific.
Well, it really does depend on the client because if the client is being a jerk, then they're being a jerk. I mean, I'm realizing some stuff right now. Yeah, I realize that they are a client and they're paying you and they ask for specific stuff, which is stupid. But to be fair, they got to learn that you're not going to fit their exact fantasy because you draw in your own style, and they shouldn't demand something like I don't know, Bruce Timm.
I don't know. There's some people who likes to do that because they like to be told what to do because that gets their inspiration flowing.
Huh.
But um, but I've been thinking about it for a very long time, and I wish if I could, I would definitely like to live off my art. I would like to do exhibitions
All right.
and such. But
You would make
at
a
the
perfect.
moment,
I'm sorry for interrupting, but you would make a perfect background artist.
oh, you think so? Because I
Uh,
can't do backgrounds at all.
no, I mean, like you do watercolors, so I feel like you might as well do landscapes, and I feel like, if possible, you could be hired by an animation company to create backgrounds for their cartoons. Eh?
Ah, yeah, that would be an idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, just yeah. Mm. Okay, so what else there to say now?
Um, well, to anyone listening, I think all there is to say for all the people who wants to do art and find inspiration is just look everywhere and look around you, and just keep on trying because it's hard and you can't get good right away. And I'm still improving, and yeah.
Hmm.
It's a bit of a crappy advice, but it takes it takes a long time to get somewhere,
Yeah,
especially with art.
I think the word you're looking for is typical because that's been heard before, but it's still valid. Yes. Thank you.
Yes,
Uh,
it's my English is not my first language, so
you speak so fluently and dare I say, push.
oh, thank you.
Yeah. I,
I suppose. Thank you.
you're very welcome. We're gonna end it here. Thank you so much for being here, and this was a fun interview.
Yeah, it was. Thank you. Thank you too.
You're very welcome. Catch you all later.
You too.